Could an extra $500 a month keep struggling families afloat? Well, that's what a coalition of mayors posed to their constituents when they launched a pilot program for universal basic income.
That's right. And a new documentary, which had its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival just this week, spoke with people impacted by the program and politicians who chose to implement it. Here's a quick clip from the film, It's Basic.
When you are coming from poverty, you're stuck.
People say to me, Mayor, what's the solution to poverty? And I answer with a very simple one-word answer: money.
For more, let's bring in Michael Tubbs in Los Angeles. You see him on the left, and Mark Levin, who's here in Studio 57 with us. Michael, you all may know, is the former mayor of Stockton, California, and executive producer for It's Basic. And Mark is a Sundance, Emmy, and Cannes Award-winning filmmaker and the director of the documentary. Well, warm welcome to you both, bringing both coasts together here. Mark, I just want to begin with you. Explain to us what universal basic income is and why you felt it was a strong enough topic to explore through a doc.
Well, this is actually what we call guaranteed income, meaning that it's not for everybody. It's for people who need the money below a certain income level, $500 a month, no strings attached, is given to people that are chosen randomly in these pilot programs that are now running in over 100 cities in the United States. And we followed participants in 5 of those cities.
Mike, I want to bring you into this conversation because you were the first mayor in the U.S. to implement a universal basic income program back in 2018. You were a darling of the Democratic Party on the national scene. You didn't win re-election. I'm wondering if you've seen sentiment towards this guaranteed universal basic income programs really change since your time in office?
Absolutely. I joke with all my mayor and county official friends on how they have it easy in many respects. And now that people are saying that, yes, inflation, yes, cost of living, yes, wages aren't keeping up with cost of living, and we need a guaranteed income in our community. So now we have mayors and county officials using public dollars, using COVID money, using taxpayer dollars, or like in Cambridge, Massachusetts, using general fund dollars to support an income floor for their residents. So I'm so proud of their leadership, but definitely am a little jealous because I took a little bit hits by going first.
Stunning, actually. Mark, what greater impact did these programs have on the people you profiled? Because as you both discussed, I mean, you look at people in St. Paul, in Cambridge, Massachusetts, in Newark, in L.A. What impact did this basic income have on people's lives?
I think it empowers people. I'd sum it up by one of the main characters in the film is named Lucille. She's a bus driver, school bus driver, with a large family, single mother. And she said, put a little gas in my tank and I'll show you how far I can go. And I think that really sums up. $500 is not that much money, but it can make a world of difference in people's lives, especially people who are trying to move forward, who want to see a better life for their children, who want to help people. It's interesting, many of the jobs that people have, because they're working, these are working people, but still not enough to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to pay for the car. And many of them are in the service industry. They're essential workers. They're doing jobs we need. They're helping other people, but they can barely make it by.
Yeah, and on that point about them working, Michael, we saw in the case of that character, a bus driver, a nurse's aide, a social worker, all these people who are doing some of the most essential, most thankless work in our society, struggling to get by. But we also see them struggling once the program ends. And one of the criticisms of UBI is that people adjust their spending based off of the support that they're receiving. And if that support ends, then they're in for a shock. In your experience as mayor and as the executive producer of this and advising now California Governor Gavin Newsom, does this program work?
It absolutely works. And I think what you're speaking to in terms of the difficulties is that the fact that we're still doing pilots and it's not policy yet. For example, we saw with the child tax credit, a nationwide experiment with guaranteed income, that child poverty fell by 40%. but we didn't renew that policy. So I think a big part of the work of this film and a big part of the work of Marriage for Guaranteed Income is to say, look, we're seeing what can happen with just $500 for a year or 18 months in a small pilot program. How do you make this policy? Because we also realize that in these pilots, people are doing amazing things, but using one-time money for one-time costs. So paying off credit card debt, paying off a down payment, getting their car fixed, et cetera. And then we've already seen the impact that makes. So I'm excited about what would happen if it was actually a permanent policy and people had longer amounts of time to respond to market pressures, to invest in themselves, to go to job training and all the things we know that we've seen repeatedly over this country, what people do when they're given just a little bit of money and real opportunity.
And how much they invest in their children, too. I think that's a major message.
And
that
Michael,
came out of this.
just in our last minute, could you speak to the psychological impact this had on people? Because while there may be regional differences, it seems like it really had a massive change to people's psyche.
Yeah, and we have evaluations done by the University of Pennsylvania Center for Guaranteed Research. And what it's found is that guaranteed income helps people not feel as stressed or as anxious. There's actually public health impacts and benefits, and people have a more positive orientation towards the future. But more importantly, and we see this in the film a lot, people feel like they can breathe, that they're not suffocated by economic insecurity, but that they're able to at least plan a little bit for the future and think about a better future for themselves and their children.
Well, the documentary It's Basic, and we appreciate Michael Tubbs and Mark Levin, those behind the doc, for walking us through it. Thanks to you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.